Alright, we're back with the next installment of the Stellaris Guide. And here we are just encountered another alien civilization. Kind of blocked us off from the top. But luckily, we were able to secure the choke point right. So that's the important part, was that we were able to rush this spot. Because in a sense now, we blocked off this civilization from going any further. So now we can focus more on
we are being hailed
down here and over here. So silver lining to the cloud, we could focus our efforts more on somewhere else. And
we are being
part
hailed.
about this is that the
system survey concluded.
Neighbor is somewhat amicable. They're not
we are being
a determined
hailed.
Exterminator or anything like that, so it seems like it's going to be beneficial for us. So so the thing I just clicked,
we
that was
are being
migratory
hailed.
treater. We want those because it allows us to expand to different planets that our species usually can't accept. So this is, let me actually pause this real quick because we're actually getting so this is a defensive pact, and it's kind of good for us because if you hover over them, they're overwhelming, and that's not good. That means if they were to fight us, they are gonna win 100%. So with that being said, because these are, pretty amicable people, they're obviously sending us a lot of invitations. That means that they want to engage with us. This is going to be good because form a defensive pact with them. If either empire is attacked, the other will automatically come to their defense. This also implies that they're not going to attack you. They're not going to go after you. So this is a good thing to get, especially for someone that's overwhelming, especially in the fleet power. The economic and technology is equivalent. So that means they're pretty much on the same track as we are. As you can see, their empire is pretty similar size. So with that being said, we definitely want to agree to it, but I believe it's going to take away a bit from our influence gain, as you can see over here. We agree to it. It looks like the non-aggression pact does affect it. I think if I unpause it, it might change, but the migratory pact also impacted it. So we're consuming half of our monthly gain, or not half, but 0.5 of our monthly. So that's why we're not, it's not exactly 2. You can see the total monthly gain is 2.7. But let's go ahead and crack these up and see what they are offering. So this is, you'll see this thing a lot, commercial pact. So what it does is that, I guess this is kind of the lore behind it. This will increase the value of both empire trade networks. This deal will grant us 8.65 energy credits, and they will get 1.92 energy credits, as well as 0.96 consumer goods each month. So these are good if you're kind of lacking in the thing that they're offering, but it also comes at a cost of influence too. To enter these, you need to use influence. So with that being said, it's probably, we have a healthy surplus, right? We have 52. So it's probably not in our best interest to get into this. So I'm going to, instead of decline or agree, I'm just going to let it time out, because if you let it time out, you're basically staying neutral. You're not saying either one, or at least I think that's how the game takes it. But if you decline it, I believe there could be negative effects from it. Like, hey, you don't want to get into a commercial pact with me? What the heck? So I usually just let them time out if I don't want to get into it. So I'll just close this out. Let's go ahead and look at the research agreement. So same thing as the commercial pact. It's, we can learn, 1 physics, 3 society, and 2 engineering, and then we're going to share with them 1 physics, 0 society, and 2 engineering. Is it a good trade for how much influence we lose? Probably not. I don't think this is worth it. If we were learning more, maybe, and sometimes if you are far more advanced in technology, you'll be sharing a lot more than you learn. So unless they're like a vassal under you or an ally, you usually don't want to give an upper hand with technologies to random societies, because then they can use that against you. So in this case, we're just going to let this one time out as well. We don't want to get into this. So let's go ahead and unpause it. And looks like a defensive pact.
We have encountered spaceborne life forms.
We'll see on the when it updates on the next section. So let's go ahead and assign an envoy. I think we have 2 envoys that we can assign to. Yeah. Here's another one. Just choose a random one, doesn't matter. So we'll see when it gets to March. Okay, there we go. And this is just letting you know it was timed out auto. Again, I just think the auto decline might be the better. So as you can see, the defensive pact it went from 0.5 to 1. So that not only do we have a non-aggression, we have a defensive pact. Our monthly gain is now 1.5. So it's up to you if you think this is worth it. But with an empire right next to us, overwhelming, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it for now. And who knows? Maybe they'll become a very good ally in the future. You never know. But for now, we'll focus our efforts elsewhere, specifically expanding out, because I believe in expanding out wide, and that might have changed. And something to note is that ever since we last played, the game updated, and so you might see
research concluded,
or see it right here. So we just got a negative trait on one of our leaders. Pop growth speed is -5, so that's not good. We might want to consider getting someone different, but looking at this person's age and knowing the typical age range of our species, they might pass away soon, so it might be worth just kind of riding it out. But a -5 pop speed is definitely a pretty big hindrance, so it might be best to put them somewhere else, but we'll look at that later. But for now, going back to technology, we can open this up. So we did this. You'll notice that all of the costs, let's go ahead and pause it again, sorry. All the costs have increased. So in the latest patch, they actually nerfed technology. And they nerfed technology in the way of making it more costly. It's going to cost more research to do. So technology rushing isn't... Yes, it's not as good because it takes more to research these things. I think overall, like across the board, it increased like 15 or 20%. I forgot the exact value, but they increased it pretty substantial. So just keep that in mind. It's kind of evident to how strong technology rushing was before that they had to nerf technology in the first place. But we'll still keep in mind that knowing that technology is, it's just not as strong, but it's still something to go after. We just might not put as many resources, building a lot of research labs to increase our research speed and all that. There's probably a new meta that might have been discovered by now, but I'm not sure what it is. So, but in this case, we're just learning how to play the game. So we just want to know what we're clicking, why we're clicking, all that stuff. But I just want to give you a heads up that I know I said in the beginning technology was really strong, but now it's more, so just a heads up. Looking at these, so we got fusion reactor, capacity, energy grid, research output, and basic combat runs. So we just already did a research station output. Might as well keep going, right?
System survey concluded.
So let's see. We have this thing not doing anything. So let's go ahead and build, and then let's go ahead and take this next system, because this system
construction completed.
which is really good for us. We want it. So the next question is, which area do we take? So if looking at this, you can almost say if we rushed this and secured this spot, we basically secure all of this. So I'm thinking that's the move. I'm going to go ahead and move them from here. But I'm curious who this is, what they're doing. What is that? That's a huge fleet. So it's a neutral fleet, you can tell by the yellow, but interestingly enough, why is it going through our territory? Because we don't see anything over here. Unless we haven't explored here, we don't know what's going on here. Well, that's kind of a weird way to say it, right? Unless we haven't explored here. We haven't explored here. We know the system layout here, but we haven't explored here. So we need to explore here to figure out maybe that's what was going on. Because it's entirely possible that there's what's called like it's a mercenary faction where you can hire ships to go out and attack opponents and all that. They could be hiding right here, and maybe that's what was, going through these systems. But it looks like they're kind of just going around. I don't know what they're doing. I've never seen them. So I think it's one of our actually one of these. Oh, the munchers. So yeah, we're trying to figure out who they are. Oh, that might be the traveling traders. You know what? It kind of looked like a traveling trader based off the picture that we just saw. Could be wrong, but usually like this background or icon kind of cues me in it's a traveling trader. But maybe it's that. Hopefully it is, because that's what would also explain why it's neutral. It also looks like they just popped up here. They instantly appeared because you could see that the investigation, or like the first contact, was in our home system. Which, if we go to our home system, how did they get here? There's no way for them to get here. So it's almost as if they were spawned in. So that's kind of a head scratcher. So if there was maybe a wormhole or something here, that could explain it, but I think it's a wandering trader that was spawned in by them. That's in my list. Yep, the caravanners. There we go. So that's who they were. They got like these decadent ships, and they basically just fly around and offer you
System
things,
survey concluded.
if you want to buy it or not. Sometimes their deals are really good, sometimes their deals are really bad. So it just depends. So.
Construction completed.
It looks like we got another contact, and it spawned right here again. Frogs, and a lot of different first contacts. So just another decision. It's just mainly just roleplay. So we can only choose this because we are a xenophobe. Let's go ahead and choose that.
An alien nation is hailing us.
And you get a little bit of influence from it, so that's a bonus. So yeah, it wasn't a mercenary guild. As you can see, we're kind of exploring this little triangle here. But you'll want to identify places where if you take a certain spot, specifically this one, you're basically blocking off anyone else from taking this area. So if we were to take this, but you also need 2 spots. And what I mean by that is if we took this one and we didn't take this one and this
Construction completed.
Someone could jump here and take this. So how do I explain this? If this
System survey concluded.
Sorry, if this specific system wasn't blocked like you prevent aliens from entering the system through diplomacy, and you can actually block people from entering your systems. You can actually close your, I don't know what to call it, close your gates, I guess.
Situation log has been updated.
Go ahead and pause this for a second. So we got another ascension. We chose the technology ascendancy. Research speed, flat research speed is great, plus for technologies. So looking at the next few, which one do we think is a good one? Well, interestingly enough, this was going to be the next one, but it also got nerfed pretty quickly after the most recent change. It used to be really good, but now it's just good. You know, it used to be great. So this was going to be our next one, but then with the nerf, no. I don't think edicts funds are worth getting, so I typically just leave those alone. Shared Destiny, I don't see any point of getting additional envoys. Imperial Prerogative, Empire size from planets -50 plus 2 official capacity size. It's decent. I think this one's good. It allows you to expand more and prevents you from, getting the negative effects from Empire size. As you can see, the majority of our stuff is coming from population. So, planets wouldn't really help us here. I like Mastery of Nature, and the reason for that is you can get +2 more districts on every planet, and then your max resource districts from each planet features +50. I just find this one really strong, just because, like, especially late game, if you add 2 more districts to each planet, I don't know, that to me is just like you're getting more resources. It makes it's really strong. I find this one underrated, but I don't know, I could be wrong. One Vision. This is just a solid choice overall. Like, you don't know what you want to pick, just pick this one, because it just gives bonuses to everything. Like, it's something that you're going to use, because you're going to need unity, you're going to need population amenities usage, and you're governing ethics attractions. It's +50. So this is just a really solid choice overall. There's nothing wrong with this one. People might argue that there's one that's better, but if you don't know what to choose and you're just trying to stick to, like, learning the game, just choose this one. One Vision's probably the one that we're going to choose right now, to be honest. Grasp the Void. FTL travel appears 1.5 times the normal rate, plus you get 5 more star-based capacity. It's good if if you're trying to expand with a lot of star bases, but that's not really our goal right now. So I'm gonna say no to that one. Interstellar Dominion, star-based influence cost -20, claim influence cost -20%. I should have said 20%, not just 20. It's decent, but it's not the highest priority. This isn't like you're just influencing, or you're just getting modifiers to influence costs. That's it. So not really worth it, in my opinion. I wouldn't choose this one. Enigmatic Engineering. You can steal technology, and debris from our destroyed ships cannot be studied by other empires. I would say this is important during a multiplayer game, but you're not really worried about multiplayer games right now. But if you are playing multiplayer games, you might want to think about selecting this one just to kind of get an edge on other people. So, but for now, I would say don't worry about this one too much. And then Lord of War, Mercenary Enclaves capacity +1, diplomatic weight for fleet power 25%, and Mercenary Enclaves under our patronage pay more frequent dividends. Here, we're not getting into patronages and Mercenary Enclaves, so ignore this one, because you're not getting into war. You might choose this one later if you are, you have vassals under you and all that, but don't worry about this one. So with that being said, I really see, Transcendent Learning is a decent one. Like I said, it's just not great. But a solid choice, One Vision, I'll choose that one. So, I kind of I kind of lost my train of thought here. Going back to here, the way this works is that if we take this one spot, we would need to take this one and this one. The reason for that is computers will jump over you if it's just one system taken over. So you want to make sure that you get this one and this one. Ideally, we can get this one and then this one, and then we wouldn't have to worry about getting 2 more star bases. So we want to rush this one and this one, because these are both still chunk points. These are really good chunk points, especially this one, just because if you hover over it, shield nullification 100%. So if we build a star base here, anything entering is going to have 100% shield nullification. So let's go ahead and pause. But the problem here now is there is a NPC blocking us with these ancient mining technologies. So what can we do about that? There's ironically not much we can do. Unless we were to beef up our military, which we could beef up our military to get it to 711, and it's entirely an option. But it's going to take a lot, because if you look at here, 3 of these are equaling 163. So, and we haven't really researched any military applications at all. So, one hope is that this thing
System survey
flies
concluded.
back over here and or goes back to
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
and opens up the spot so that way we can take it. But we should probably assume that that's not.
We have encountered spaceborne life forms.
Quickly assigning someone and then getting back to here. So 3 are military, and then 1 is industrial, you can argue. So this is also gonna unlock. You can hover over this like little locking key sign where it says what it is. This is an infrastructure path. This will lead to further advancements in civilian infrastructure. This is a robotic path. This will lead to further advancements in the field of robotics. Because this is it's military, but it's also going to help us with further advancements into civilian infrastructure. So let's actually do this one. Because as much fun as robots are, I find that I don't use them too much, but that's just how I feel. And while they're sitting there, let's just go ahead and this one right here. And so we're actually gonna, because we have a good amount of alloys, and that's what it takes to build ships, we're actually gonna go ahead and start doing a bit of military stuff. So before we do that, let's go ahead and upgrade to planetary administration. We'll meet the requirements. But let's go ahead and start with some military stuff. Looks like our science ships aren't doing anything, so let's go ahead and get them.
Construction completed.
Make sure you're always checking your science ships to make sure that otherwise they are not doing anything and they're unproductive. That's not what we want. So we're just building stuff here. We want to claim these energy credits and
System
research.
survey concluded.
Going to keep expanding out. Looks like there's an alien.
Situation log has been updated.
Here, so we will want to rush this because we're probably going to get stopped somewhere soon here. So let's go ahead and look at. Here's the ship here. So this is how you build ships. You can go here to the shipyard, and you can just build corvettes. And I think that's what we're going to do. We can just
System
build
survey
corvettes. It's gonna do all the
concluded.
best in there. We can't really change the ship design. You can change the ship design once you get more research under it, but there's really no point. So we want to get a fleet that's going to beat this one. 711. So I would say, this is probably a safe bet. So we're just going to do a nice 15. It's going to take 1,200 alloys, which we have plenty. So I add this number. Our command limit is 20. So we're going to reinforce it. And this is
System survey concluded.
These Corvettes. Great.
An alien nation is hailing us.
So this is the curator order. They're good for helping you with research. You pay them, they will give you, boons to research, like research speed increases and all that. So another neutral faction.
Council agenda ready.
Trying to take over take over the galaxy. Like, this is considered like another empire. This is like a neutral faction that's just trying to exist.
Red alert! Spaceport under fire.
So, looks like there is an asteroid over here. So let's send our fleet over here to take care of it. Our star...
We have encountered spaceborne life forms.
But this thing is automatically firing on this thing. It'll slowly take it out, but we want to make it a little bit faster. And we're going to send our fleet over there.
Situation log has been updated.
So what we did there is we selected the option that would allow us to partake in this mission. And so we're going to research this project because we're clicking a construction ship, right? But if you hover over it, it says you're going to need a construction ship instead of a science ship. So make sure you read and review what each option is before clicking the options and the things that pop up. I just click it because I know like what's going to happen, but just make sure you're reading it before you do anything, because it gives you a lot of information to help you decide what you should do. So this one, it's technology progress is 10% on frequency tuning, and we also get increased.
An alien nation is hailing us.
And this is a timed event too, so that's something to consider. You'll see this like timed project thing, and we have 3,600 days to complete this, which is pretty doable. It's not like you're gonna run out of any time soon. So, but since this thing isn't doing anything, let's go ahead and send it over. Might as well. What is blown by the wind will wash us by the rain. Nope. I think I accidentally. I thought that was a problem. But it looks like I accidentally. So you can see the health is going down slowly. It's 87, 86. But we also don't want to risk this asteroid not being destroyed and then hitting our planet. That'd be bad. So you can see it's slowly moving here. It's just very slow. And I think eventually this might get out of range of our station. So it's a good thing we're sending over our fleet. So you can see, I assume this was probably once a... Well, we can see. Yeah, this was once a red planet, now it's yellow. And it's yellow because we had that migratory pact with that neighboring faction. This is good for us because now we can... You could colonize a planet at yellow, it's just probably not the best. You can hover over and see...
Construction completed.
This is going to take, 55 plus... Amenities usage, pop usage is 55 plus. Resources are 27.5% lower, and population growth is 27% lower. Probably not the best decision to take that planet, but maybe if it was 65 or 70, that would be more doable. But at 45, probably not. So it looks like our fleet made it. So now they are engaging. So now they're going to take care of this thing pretty quickly. Or relatively quickly compared to this thing. But the short and sweet is that we want our
System survey concluded.
So it looks like they're handling it just fine. And then hopefully soon we'll get enough
System
ships
survey
to handle,
concluded.
This hostile mining corp. I guess you can see they're getting a little bit of target practice. And there we go. Asteroid taken care of. And we gained some minerals from it. But it looks like their awareness of us kind of went up. So let's go ahead and go.
Council agenda available.
Go ahead and select a new agenda. Happiness is always a good one, so let's go ahead and do that. So what's cool is that even though we are running around, the shipyard is still building these ships, and they're going to meet up with this main fleet. The ships will just randomly, not random, but chart
The special
through,
project has concluded.
these different systems to reach the main fleet in hopes of meeting up. So the next one to probably get, we already took expansion and discovery. We can't get these because you have to unlock the flesh is weak ascension perk as well as the technology. Same with these others, they're tied behind technology. So at this point, we're not really getting into politics yet, not really mercantile. I would say prosperity is probably the best one. So I'm going to go ahead and choose
System
prosperity.
survey concluded.
We want to be positive, prosperous. Let's go ahead and send this thing back over here so we can go ahead and make sure we are ready to go when our ships arrive. Let's go ahead and increase the speed a bit so that way we can go ahead and
System survey
make that
concluded.
happen soon.
We have encountered spaceborne life forms.
And then I'm going to go ahead and
System
have-
survey concluded. Engaging hostile forces.
So you can see they automatically engage. We kind of zoomed into that, but basically they entered the system, they went to the area that I directed them to, and they automatically engaged any hostile threats. So right now our fleet is fighting these droids, or these mining droids, so that way we can free up the space. And there's probably also going to be, well, potentially, if I say possible, but potentially a research that might be here. We can analyze the debris in the field to kind of see, like, and understand these things better. We might get a technology. So we'll see. I'm not sure what the chances are, but usually it happens. Yeah, so here there's a special project. We can analyze the space debris with trace components, a small cutting laser, fusion reactor, thrusters. And so that popped up. Let's take this thing, because now it's opened up. And it looks like we only lost one out of 15. So that's a pretty sweet deal. So I have a ship here. Let's see if we have
System survey
Yes, we do.
concluded.
So let's go ahead and have this ship go here. Research the project. This one over here, we're just going to continue to automatically survey. This one is not doing anything, so let's go ahead and have him go here. But that's pretty much how fighting works. They are not healed, so what we want to do is have them repair the fleet. So what they're going to do if you can see they're leaving the system, so they're going to go back to their home base and basically do repair. You can get research that automatically does repairs without them needing to go back, and those are pretty cool. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna cut it here.
Construction completed.
Looks like this thing moves, so we're gonna have to also heal these guys up and take care of that. But I'm gonna cut it here, and we'll return to this next time. Appreciate you guys listening in and watching, and I hope you have a good one.